The number of amputees across the globe is continuously increasing with the onslaught of natural disasters and conflicts. Decades later, people are still at the mercy of wars long since resolved. One of the cruelest culprits still disfiguring people is the landmine. It's astonishing to think that every 20 minutes, someone falls victim to a landmine. In underdeveloped countries where medical expertise is limited, birth defects and diseases like diabetes often prove too overwhelming and amputation the only option. Proof enough that there is an immeasurable number of amputees in the world and a perpetual need for a comfortable, sustainable prosthetic solution. One such solution is the IceExpress method, developed by Åsa Christensen, founder of the largest prosthetic and orthotic manufacturing company in the world. With 40 years' experience in this field, he is undoubtedly the authority in socket designs. He recently witnessed the need for prosthetics on a massive scale he never dreamt possible.
To tell you the truth, I was pulled back from retirement by two young enthusiastic boys, Johan and Siggy. And they took me to Mozambique, where we fitted some 20 people. Mozambique was an eye-opener. And when we learned about the multitude of amputees that don't get any service at all, which we had no idea of before, we realized that if we got the funding, we could make a difference.
The successful pilot in Mozambique was greatly encouraging for the team. This was a solution that could be applied on a larger scale. The IceExpress team undertook another such initiative, this time reaching the heart of Southeast Asia, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The team set up operations at the PSRD, the Pakistan Society for the Rehabilitation of the Disabled, where they discovered that the already large number of amputees prevalent in Pakistan has been further increased by the brutal earthquake of 2005 that left 1,000 amputees in its wake. Amputees that still today have yet to receive sustainable aid. Pakistan, as with many impoverished countries worldwide, struggles to facilitate its amputees. The only way it can cope is by manufacturing prostheses using local techniques and materials, resulting in prostheses that are most often than not less than favorable.
If you look at amputees that currently receive prostheses all over the world, techniques are rather outdated, and you end up being an amputee that's not really comfortable, and you cannot go for a full day's work. And you can clearly see that to keep the prosthesis on, they have to have the straps on as tight as possible, and this will restrict the blood circulation.
Unfortunately, increased tightening of the straps is extremely common and is done so due to a prosthesis not fitting well.
See what happens to this guy. Obviously, hygiene is a huge issue. They cannot clean this. If you look at the stump, it's a nice ling stump, but due to years and years of abuse, just all these muscle is wasted away.
Traditional prosthetic methods such as these are severely limiting, and providing a comfortable solution is very often far beyond reach. It's not simply about ease of wear. An ill-fitting prosthesis can essentially damage the stump severely, often rendering the amputee more disabled. Undeniably, these victims are in dire need of an effective solution. The IceExpress is a revolutionary approach to making prostheses, one that is effective in both first and third world scenarios. The IceExpress team is particularly passionate about extending this technique globally, specifically to marginalized areas that most need it. Moreover, the core of the Ice Express vision lies in training locals in such areas to ultimately being able to fit the Ice Express technique single-handedly, leaving behind a sustainable solution that will benefit these communities for years to come.
Excellent. And that's done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good.
Technically, what sets the Ice Express method apart is that it comprises a uniquely made socket system, which attached to a silicone liner fits the stump perfectly. In doing so, creating a very comfortable solution. The process begins by measuring the stump's circumference and fitting a silicone liner, which contains the stump's soft tissue for a comfortable fit. The socket is made by covering the residual limb with a glass fiber application that is cut to size. A thin layer of silicone envelops the glass fiber, which is then injected with the bonding agent. Applying the bladder molds the bonding agent according to the stump's exact shape. The socket is then marked according to the anatomy and cut to size. Thereafter, it is quickly assembled to the rest of the components and the foot. The silicone liner has a distal attachment that locks securely into the prosthesis. With a few minor adjustments, in just 1 hour, a patient is walking and regaining mobility.
By applying this ICEX technique, we ensure that every time the sockets are comfortable. And what's happening is the technique we use, we capture the volume of the stump in the socket. So there's no voids or empty spaces or any movements that can result.
Consequently, the Ice Express method is so comfortable that an amputee automatically gains a new lease of life and is able to walk for longer periods. Blood circulation then improves, sometimes resulting in slight weight loss and stump reduction. This can be easily adjusted by applying a stump sock or by simply making a new socket.
Maintenance side of this is minimal. If there is volume changes, then we just make a new socket, and that's 20 minutes.
From time to time, the liner may cause perspiration, yet it only takes an amputee 2 to 4 weeks to become accustomed to this. Before long, the perspiration lessens considerably. The Ice Express method stretches its capacity to the maximum. There are absolutely no limitations to the measures involved when conceptualizing technical advancements. Siggy is particularly pleased with the foot design. He has spent many hours perfecting and testing its durability.
Well, the new technology regarding this foot is that there's a blade in here. It's an energy returning blade, and it has a pyramid adapter. And by covering it all in polyurethane foam, we protect the energy returning spring or leaf in there. So when it's out in the field, it doesn't get sand or anything in there. Well, it will give an energy return for the patient. So when walking, it can walk further every day compared to the old sax foot and the custom solution for this area.
Because of these energy returning qualities, an amputee is able to work longer hours, and in countries where manual labor is often the only means of survival, having a comfortable prosthesis is absolutely critical. All in all, the Ice Express method is a complete prosthetic solution that allows for better blood circulation, balance and comfort. Because an amputee is then able to walk as though it's a natural extension of his own body, it improves his quality of life dramatically.
कि वो ये अगर लूज़ नहीं होती ना यहाँ से गिरती हैं वो ये किस वक्त यहाँ से निकल भी सकती है लेग्स लेकिन वो अच्छी लेग्स हैं वो ना निकलती हैं वो मजबूत हैं यहाँ से और अब भी जो लेग्स हैं ना उनका न्यू लेग्स.
The results of the Ice Express method are truly remarkable. Building on this advancement, the team is developing an above-knee solution which follows the same easy-to-apply principles. Remarkably, another advantage that catapults the Ice Express method into a league of its own is that it can be fitted under the most basic circumstances without the need for a dedicated workshop, as prosthetist Johan Snijders demonstrates.
I believe it can work. We've been fitting silicone liners in the Gulf where it's really hot without any problems, and we've been fitting liners in Siberia. By applying this technique, we could fit amputees anywhere in the world, and you can do it off-site in situ.
Conventional methods often require several weeks to fit a prosthesis, whereas it only takes 1 hour to fit an IceXpress method, and it can be done with little more than a small bag of components and a basic set of tools. Because it's a technique that's as simple to learn as it is to do, it can be applied by individuals independently anywhere in the world. In fact, landmine victims in Mozambique were fitting each other. Similarly, technicians in Pakistan were instantly accepting of this pioneering method, representing a quantum leap in capacity building. Acknowledging the success of the IceXpress method is Brigadier Abdul Kaimshar of the PSRD.
In my own opinion, I think this is an excellent appliance. If we had the money, if it was sponsored by X or Y, we would then be prepared to convert completely to this. And we think, and I know my patients think, majority of them, that it's an excellent appliance.
What is not nice is to see amputees, they cannot always afford the best possible prosthesis. And just because of that, they have to have an inferior prosthesis. That's not enough for me. They should all be treated equally. Prostheses are very expensive globally. For me, it's quite an issue if you pay a lot of money and a socket's not fitting. By introducing this technique, we can get more happy amputees, comfortable amputees returning to the society.
The IceXpress method certainly gets the thumbs up from all. In initiatives employed around the world, the IceXpress team fitted amputees while simultaneously training local technicians. In just 6 days in Pakistan, 54 people regained mobility through IceXpress. And in a matter of 2 days in Mozambique, the IceXpress team not only had 20 amputees on their feet, but they also had them dancing.
It's easily documented, and the impact is seen immediately. And we can put people back on their feet and not be a burden on society. Ultimately, we are looking for making changes in people's lives.
A magnitude of people globally are yearning for a comfortable long-term prosthetic solution. The IceXpress team aims to continue to provide the sustainable solution and to train people adequately, thereby raising global awareness. Above all, the IceXpress method gives amputees the ability to stand tall and walk with style.
गडनारी गंवारी कहे सो करे गडनारी गंवारी कहे सो